Hello, hello. This is your friend, encouraging leader Michael Jones. And I actually heard on two different podcasts today. I saw two kind of interrelated messages. And so I figured that this is the universe nudging me to get this out there and kind of combine the two and share with you. So if this helps you today, just please let me know. Message me privately or publicly where I share this, and just let me know that this impacted you in any way. But the two messages were on two podcasts that I listened to. The first being the Quote of the Day Show podcast by Sean Croxton, where Sean shares snippets of speeches by a lot of different people. And the second is the Own Your Career, Own Your Life show podcast by Andy Storch, who is a great guy. And Andy actually was interviewing about a 45-minute long interview with Dr. Gay Hendricks, who wrote The Big Leap. And he has a new book that's out now that's called Zone of Genius, which is kind of a continuation of The Big Leap. I love The Big Leap, and I have a picture from The Big Leap about a goldfish going from one little fish bowl to a big, big open pond. And it's all about me exploring my zone of genius. And Dr. Hendricks talked about that today. Would have been perfect if we had seen some content from a third favorite author, which is Bob Berg, who wrote The Go-Giver. But the content that these folks shared that's really similar. And you can see a quote behind me that was from that interview by Dr. Gay Hendricks that says, "Everything changes the moment you make a sincere, heartfelt commitment." And then Dr. Hendricks further went on to state that the longest journey any human being makes is 12 inches from their head to their heart. And he said that's the reason, because if you can get your heart to align with your head and to align behind a goal that's really meaningful to you, you become virtually unstoppable. And that's something that has really resonated with me today is, are you really living in alignment with what you do absolutely the best? And there are different levels that Gay Hendricks shares in his books about levels of incompetence. Like for me, that's doing something like working on cars, where I'm absolutely terrible at it, so I outsource it. There are people who are much more confident in that, and that's their zone of genius. There are things that I do pretty well. There are things that I do really well, but other people do better than me. And there are things that I do that are in my zone of genius that I do just so naturally that I love to do it. And those are the things I need to do more. And when I do something and throughout my day where that zone of genius has alignment between my heart and my head, like what I do right now with Alidade, is totally aligned in my zone of genius, and I'm spending a good portion of my day in that zone, then I'm virtually unstoppable. And I can raise up people who are unstoppable. And the correlation between what Willie Jolly shared is, how bad do you want it? And Willie Jolly actually shared in some speeches that he gave, he asked people about their goals, career goals, personal goals, finance goals, weight loss goals. How bad do you want it? And people always answer real bad, but there's a degree of real bad. And he tells a story, and I won't share that right now, but really when your head and your heart are completely aligned, that's when you become virtually unstoppable. And this message is as much for me as it is for anybody else out there, because when you go chasing things that don't align with your head and your heart, you're really not in sync, and you really can't do the things that you're meant to do, that you're put on this earth to do. And when you're in that peace about what you're doing so well, it makes you in a place where it's a thing of art. So I want to help you if you want to go and discover your zone of genius. And I want to tell you that you can do that and have a fulfilling career where you're rewarded and you have abundance, where you have enough financially so that you can meet all your obligations and then some. I think that there's a big push put on entrepreneurship and side hustles, and I'm not anti any of those, but I think you can find fulfillment in a career. So if you want to have help finding your zone of genius, let me know. I'm happy to encourage you, because that is my zone of genius. I hope that you found this talk beneficial to you. If you did, please just let me know. Have a great day. Thank you.